ladies and gentlemen, here's something. I want you to listen to me very closely. I have a message for you. Releasing the past and embracing the newness of life. The newness of life. And when you do that, you are willing to make a radical change on how you show up. When I was in pursuit of my goal and dream of becoming a motivational speaker, before I got any speaking engagements, I used to, and I'm talking about to be paid, I used to go to the shopping mall after walking around Belle Isle for about 5 or 6 times in Detroit, saying I'm the world's greatest orator. I wasn't being braggadocious. I hadn't even been paid to speak yet, but I was calling forth those things that be not as though they were. And then I would get dressed up and go to the shopping mall. And I want you to write this down, 3 feet principle. 3 feet principle. That I practice the 3 feet principle. And that, and that is talk to people. Write this down. I practice talk to people. I would talk to anybody that got within 3 feet of me. Hi, my name is Les Brown, and I'm a motivational speaker. Do you or anyone you know that can use my services? And if that doesn't work, guess what? I'll talk to more people. It's called a TTP principle, a TTM principle. Write this down. TT, talk to people, and then talk to more people. TTMP. About your business, about your product, about the things that you want to do with your life and where you're going. And you have no idea on how that's going to manifest itself. You have no idea. If you just listen to me every day, I'm gonna give you something to do. You get an assignment, and the assignment now is talk to people, the TTMP, talk to more people. And we're gonna do this all virtually, because I'm not going out to shopping mall now. I don't go to shopping mall. I'm in the house. I don't go anywhere. Tyrone and I, we stay in the house. We keep social distancing from each other. Well, if you didn't know, Tyrone is a squirrel. That he taught me squirrely. We talk to each other every day. So back on point. And so therefore, you want to find ways to communicate and reach people and talk to a minimum of 7 people every day about your goal, about your dream, and ask, do you or someone you know that will be helpful to me? Case in point, I was catching a plane from Detroit. I was living at the Riverfront Apartments to Chicago, and maybe about 5 people on the plane. I sat by a guy named Lafayette Jones. I don't know what happened to Lafayette Jones. Somebody out there know Lafayette Jones. And we both were born on February the 17th. It's our birthday. I said, you born February 17th? He said, yes. I said, so was Michael Jordan and Jim Brown. He said, is that right? He said, what do you do? I said, I'm glad you asked. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm going to become known and famous for that. Can you or someone you know use my services? He said, whoa. He said, man, I work for Robert Johnson Products, and our speaker canceled. He said, are you good? I said, that's what people say. He said, how much do you charge? At that time, I didn't know how much to charge. Listen to this. Listen to me. Are you listening? I said, how much have you allocated? He said, $5,000. I looked at him. Are you all right, brother? I said, did you say $5,000? He said, yes. Well, I didn't answer right away because I didn't want to speak in unknown tongues. Oh my goodness! I never had $5,000 for a speech in my life. I got love offerings for $5 and $25 that show that they didn't love you anymore. We love you, but Jesus loves you more. I said, yes. So then, but I furthered the conversation. I said, Lafayette, I'm going to be on the Robert Schuller show. He said, is that right? Yes, millennials, this used to be a nationally televised ministry. He said, when? I said, I don't know exactly. Do you know Robert Schuller or know someone who knows Robert Schuller? He said, yes, my boss does. He gave him $1 million for his ministry. I said, are you kidding? Now, mind you, I've been saying this and asking this question for 2 years. Did anybody that got within 3 feet of me, I would say I'm a speaker? Do you or someone you know can use my services? And I'm going to be on the Robert Schuller show. Televised ministry. You got to call forth those things that be not as though they were. There's power. You, as a friend of mine, billionaire PA, speak your dream into existence. And he said, my boss knows him, Robert Johnson. I said, is that right? I did the event. I spoke. At the end, I got a standing ovation. And Mr. Johnson ran to the podium. He said, who are you? I said, I'm Les Brown, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. He said, man, you were good. You saved the day. He said, man, if I can ever do anything for you, let me know. I said, do you know Robert Schuller? He said, yes, I gave $1 million to his ministry. I said, I want to be on his program. He said, you got it. The next day at Riverfront Apartments, I got a phone call. Hello? Hi, this is Les Brown. This is Robert Schuller. Robert Schuller? Yes. Wow. Wow. Hold it just a minute. I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Put the phone down, ready. It's number one. It's number one. Then I came back. Hello? You can't make this stuff up. I was so excited. He said, I heard you're a very good speaker. I said, that's what people say. My mother taught me self-praise brings no recommendation. He said, I want you on my program. And he scheduled me, and I went in and I did the show 2 different times. Listen to me. You got through 2020. You got through 2020 against all odds. You showed up. You have favor with God. You showed up. There is something that you're supposed to do. And it's not the same thing you've been doing already. Make a radical change. All of us are the same way. The only thing that separates us are the choices and our behaviors. Listen to me. Our choices, our behavior, our habits. We'll be a team, a community of greatness, of people working on their goals and their dreams. Because you can't do it by yourself, especially now, all this stuff that's going on right now. No, I cut my hair because I didn't want to see the same person in the mirror in 2021 that I saw in 2020. No, I'm working on myself. Got on a scale and it was less of me today than yesterday because I'm serious. See, you got to be serious. Yeah, no. You got to be serious. You got to hunker down. You've got to be anchored in your mind. Why? Because we don't know what's coming. Life is stalking us. Look behind and thank God. I want you to do that right now. Just look behind right now. Just reflect on this past year in your life. And you woke up this morning. You woke up. Just so many ways you could have been taken out. So today, I want you to visualize the goal that you want to achieve. Because the foundation, you got to build the foundation. But I want you to make a commitment. I've made a commitment to take better care of myself, to get off my medication. I've made a commitment to be more productive, to be more impactful. I made a commitment to at least keep a closer contact and build closer relationships with my family and with my friends. I've made a commitment, have more quiet time and exercise and doing the things that will indicate that I plan to die at young at an old age, taking care of myself. You owe this to yourself. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And in order to get that greatness out, only 1% of people achieve greatness. Only to do that and have the kind of impact you want to make in the world, got to be hungry. Got to be hungry. And for those of you that want to speak, I got something for you too. Got some videos. I want you to go to hungrytospeak.com. hungrytospeak.com. And I'm giving both of these away. Yes, why? God's been so good to me. I'm here because of his grace and mercy, and I'm thankful for you, for your listening to me, for your honoring me with your presence, with your listening to the products that I produce, and you're making the dramatic changes in your life as somebody spoke to me, and I became a different kind of person. I want to be to you what Mike Williams has been to me. I want to be to you what Mr. Leroy Washington has been to me. I want to be to you what my mother has been to me. And some of you call me Pops. They say they call me Pops now. I'd be you the oldest one in the group with my spiritual sons and daughters. Now, when you practice, listen to me, listen. When you make a commitment, if you're serious about your goals and dreams, because I've been reviewing this, when you make a commitment to do what you can, where you are with what you have, and never be satisfied, and be singly focused, focus on something you want to do that's important to you, not to anybody else, that's important to you. And every day you take action steps at the beginning of the year. Why? Because it's easy to become a victim of weapons of mass distractions. To be distracted, you miss some steps. So I'm giving you something simple and practical to do. Just talk to 7 people about your dream. That's all I'm asking you to do. 7 people for 7 days. 7 days. And for 7 days, don't speak anything negative about yourself, about anybody. In the beginning was the Word. Death and life is in the tongue. Listen, the book of life says, death and life is in the tongue. Why? Because we speak more death. Speak life, speak positive words. When you find yourself and you slip and you say something negative, say, cancel that. Cancel that. Yes. And don't speak anything negative about anybody else. No, don't do that. 7-day mental diet. When you find yourself, we can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we dwell on. Listen to me. This is how I got here. So when you find yourself thinking negative thoughts because of the weapons of mass distractions, let's say cancel that. See, we can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we dwell on. There's something in you that says that you're not sitting back waiting to see what politicians will do for you. There's something in you that says, I'm not going to focus on the general economy, I'm going to focus on my personal economy. There's something in you that says the most dependable hand in the world is the one at the end of your risk. There's something in you that says always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You are different. You have greatness within you. Dr. Howard Thurman, come forth. Here's a man that
after having 238 radiation seed implants, and my PSA continued to increase. In fact, last year this time it was over 1,500, and the little C cancer had eaten 40% of my T1 vertebrae. And I was reading his words that night after leaving Florida Hospital, and doctors had told me that cancer had reappeared, had metastasized in 8 areas of my body. And I began to laugh as the doctor spoke to me, and he was looking real serious. He said, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "I feel like Mother Teresa." He said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Lord, I know you know how much I can bear. I wish you didn't have so much confidence in me." And now my PSA is 0.0. I'm debt-free, cancer-free. Yes, indeed. I stand before you because of God's grace and mercy. And trust me, it's better to be seen than to be viewed. But Dr. Thurman was called upon by Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. He said, "Howard, I want you to mentor my boy, MLK." He was a member of an elite group of orators and mystics and philosophers in his day. He was an advisor to Mahatma Gandhi and to Abbott Schweitzer. He wrote, "Deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment." He wrote some words that I was reading around 3 o'clock in the morning that grabbed me. He said, "The ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over." He said, "But imagine being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never used those talents. You never used those gifts. You never used those abilities. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, 'We came to you. And only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever.' And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what books, what leadership, what voice, what story will die with you?" Miles Monroe, great speaker out of the Bahamas, said, "The wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines." He said, "The wealthiest place on the planet is this. There you'll find potential never realized. There you'll find books never written. There you'll find abilities and skills and talents and gifts the world never had exposure to." Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau asked in a moment of anguish, "What if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? That it was wrong. God had so much more in mind for you." Maybe that's why he said, "Oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived, only to realize that you've never scraped the surface of your potential." Everybody, let us say together, live full, die empty. And the people in this room have decided to live full. The people in this room have decided to die empty. The people in this room have decided to live life on their terms and not to be a volunteer victim. When you say yes to this industry, you're saying yes for a bigger life. You're saying yes, I'm tired of playing small. You're saying yes, I'm really ready to be empowered to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. You're saying yes to providing for yourself and your family. There's something that's in you that says, "I'm not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life." You're saying yes to your life, yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. I didn't do this for years. I would go in the balcony of auditoriums and watch Jim Rohn and Dr. Dennis Waitley and Zig Ziglar And my heart would beat so fast because I love helping people. How many of you love helping people? Raise your hands. I love helping people. And my heart said, I can do that. But then when I would leave there, and as I was walking to the car, my mental conditioning began to speak. And it would say, Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you can't do that. What makes you think that you have something to say that somebody would listen to you? Les Brown, you can't do that. What makes you think that you can speak for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, IBM? You've never worked for a major corporation. Les Brown, you can't do that. You were adopted. You don't even know who your parents are. How many of you ever thought about something you wanted to do? You felt it in your heart, and then your mind talked you out of it. Raise your hands, please. I convinced myself that I couldn't do it. I learned something from that experience. Whenever there's an argument between your heart and your mind, follow your heart. There are things that the heart can understand and feel that the mind cannot relate to. Maybe that's why my favorite book says, lean not unto thine own understanding, and all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. There are things that you feel, that you know in your heart of hearts, that's not logical, it's not practical, it's not realistic, but there's something in you that says, I can do this. I can do this. After facing defeats and disappointments and failures again and again and again, there's still something in you that says, I can do this. Operating out of a thinking when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because when you can look up, you can get up. I can do this. I can do this. When you present and people say, oh yes, I'd like to be a part of that. Yes, they have the personality and they need it, and they don't show up. You end up being a babysitter. You have to be a counselor and a psychologist and a minister. They challenge you to pray to Jesus and Yahweh and Melchizedek and Buddha. They'll get on your last nerve, have you chanting, Nomi Yoho Renge Kyo. It's interesting when you talk to people about securing their future, and you can't help them to become actively engaged in their own life. A friend of mine named Lorraine had me to come to do an intervention with her brother that was addicted to drugs, and he told us to get out of his house. And as we were going down the steps, I said, I'm sorry I failed. I'm so disappointed. And she said something that I'll never forget. I want you to remember. She said, Les, most people won't participate in their own rescue. Wow. Most people won't participate in their own rescue. You have a vehicle that will allow them to create their own job. You have products that people need. You have training and coaching where they'll be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. You have leadership of people who've proven that it's possible you can live your dreams. It's possible you got a shot at creating a fortune. Everybody's not going to do it. We can't predict performance. And all you are saying, hey, listen, here's an opportunity. And don't take it personal when people say no to you. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to living a bigger life. They're saying no to what's going on in their head because they're suffering from possibility blindness. They can't see themselves doing more. They don't want to do that extra work. So they're saving you some time. They know they're trifling and don't want to work. Don't try and convince them to say yes. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. This is hard work. H-A-R-D and H-E-A-R-T. Hard work and heart work. You got to gut this out. You've got to know your vitamin. You've got to fail your way to success. You've got to be unstoppable. You have to operate like Willie Jolly, who said a setback is a setup for a comeback. You've got to be relentless when you're building a business. You got to be able to have courage after you face rejection and again and again and again. After somebody tell you they're going to show up and then they don't come, they don't return your calls. It takes courage. Go out and start talking to people. It takes courage when creditors are breathing down your neck and family members say, oh, there he goes again with another pyramid scheme. Am I making sense to you? What I'm doing. I didn't do this for 14 years because I didn't have the courage. I was afraid of being rejected because I don't have a college education. I had a tremendous inferiority complex. And something else. In order to make this business successful, to go from a 9 to 5 to 5 until you faint, it's a different mindset. It requires a radical change. How many of you know that it's hard building a thriving residual income on a monthly basis? Raise your hands, please. Yeah, that's why most people won't say yes. It's much easier to complain about the economy. It's much easier to complain about our elected officials. It's much easier to talk about the recession. That's much easier. To come up with excuses and why you can't do it. That's where I was. That's where I set up station for a long time. My mentor said something to me, Mike Williams. I want you to write this down. He said, anybody can complain. He said, if you do what is easy, that's complaining. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Come on now, that's strong medicine. If you do what is easy, complain about your situation, your circumstances. If you do what is easy, stand around and be a volunteer victim like everybody else. If you do what is easy, surrender and give up on your dreams, become depressed and bitter and angry. Anybody can do that. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, keep coming back again and again and again. If you do what is hard, approaching strangers, talking to people in shopping malls, get up dressed every day, going out prospecting, knowing some way, somehow, with a spirit of expectation, somebody's out here looking for an opportunity. You can go outside right now and see some pigeons, but you're out hunting for eagles, and they're not common. And if you do that over and over and over again, somebody's going to show up. Somebody's going to say, I'm the one. Dr. Thurman, I love him so much. What a great writer. He said, there's something in each and every one of you that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life, your days will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. And I submit to you that you invested the time and money to go to the airport, to fly cross country. I suggest to you, some of you drove here. I suggest to you, you showed up because you said, I'm going to pull my own strings. I'm going to control my own life. Nobody will ever pull my strings again. Give yourselves a round of applause.
I got to share another with you. I got to get the names because I love these. I believe in giving people credit for what they say and write. And so I will have the names tomorrow. Or maybe, I think it's Thursday. Thursday we have our session. Here's another one. Don't let other people's failure create fear in you and going after something. I'll never forget when I decided that I was going to become a motivational speaker. How many people said, do you know how many members there are in the National Speakers Association? I said, yeah, around 3,000. Is that right? Do you think you're the first one that decided that you're going to be known nationally and internationally? Do you? You're not that naive, are you? Over 3,000? You have nothing going for you. And you will be the only fly in that glass of milk. There's no way you can compete with them. With PhDs and MBAs, people from around the world. Who are you? Les Brown from Overtown and Liberty City in Miami, Florida? Who are you? You're nobody. You don't have their money. You don't have their contact, their relationships, their corporate experience. I wouldn't waste my time if I was you. Well, thank God you're not me, because guess what? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. See, sometimes people allow other people's opinion, other people's experiences or fears to govern what they will attempt to do or not do. Just because somebody else failed at it doesn't mean that you're going to fail at it. And even if you do fail at it, change your approach. Don't change your decision. Did you just hear what I said? Oh, that'll preach up in here. Change your approach. Don't change your decision. Alexander Graham Bell was asked the question, how did you continue after failing 10,000 times? And he said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that didn't work. He changed his approach, but he didn't change his decision of what he was working on. He's on fire today. He's on fire. Yes, Tyrone, I'm on fire. What do you think about that?
I think you doing real good. Keep on, Mr. Brown.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, Tyrone is a squirrel that comes up on the west side of my house, and he talks to me in the morning. He talks to me and walks with me, and he just tells me various things and teach me how to speak squirrely. Now, here's the other thing. When you got something to do, I want to talk to you and give you another point of what to do in and out of the coronavirus. Yes, you need to have a strategy. Three kinds of people coming out of this: millionaires, billionaires, and witnesses. You listen to me, you will not be a witness. You're going to become a millionaire or billionaire. Which one do you want to be? A witness, like the majority of people who are tuning into entertainment? Write this down and put it someplace where you can watch it and look at it and read it and remind you. What you tune into, you turn into. I've made several million. Now I'm working on the billion, because a good man, not a sperm donor, a good man, oh, no, he didn't go there. No, he did not go there. I did. As my brother said, shoe fit, wear it. And if it's not your shoe and it fits, wear it anyhow. That you got to have something that you decide, this is how I'm going to make my mark. I was chosen. I was sent here with gifts and greatness in me. And I'm going to make a presence. I'm going to make a dent. Am I going to solve all the problems? No, I'm not trying to play God. No. But I can do something. And I'm going to do what I can, as George Washington Carver said, do what you can where you are with what you have and never be satisfied. Absolutely. Don't resign yourself just to be hypnotized by what's going on. Your future is going to be bright because you decided that you're going to write it, that you're going to create it, that the future will be kind to you because you are going to create your own future. That's the way to get up in the morning. Just because I'm 76, you think I'm gonna be sitting around watching Netflix? Absolutely not. Netflix is a great idea that kicked cable and all the other networks behind. That's an idea. Everything that exists at some point in time was an idea. I still got some ideas going on in my mind. I still know my name. What's your name? Leslie Calvin Brown. Okay. What is the date? Now you going too far. Hello. Good morning to you. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. You know homie could sing, huh? You didn't know homie could sing, did you? They didn't know, Tyrone, that homie could go there, but you can't handle it.
You got a point. Okay.
Silly boy, silly boy, silly boy. That's what my sister's saying right now, I'm sure, as she's watching me. Silly boy.
Second to the last thing. Let us say together, you got to be hungry. Hold it. Mr. Washington, Mr. Brown, what do you want to do? Well, sir, I'd like to be a disc jockey. Mr. Brown, if you want to be a disc jockey, you got to be hungry. What do you mean by that, sir? You've got to be willing to do the things that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. He said you got to work on yourself, develop your mind. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You got to be hungry. I said, yes, sir, I'm hungry. I want to be a disc jockey, sir. He said, is that right? I said, yes, sir. He said, start listening to Paul Harvey. Start listening to people who are effective communicators. Be conscious of what you're saying and how you're saying it. Because how you express yourself, once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. See yourself as a radio disc jockey. Start working to get sponsorship. Start creating the radio format that you want. Start developing your personality. I said, wait a minute, sir. I said, I want to be a disc jockey. I don't have a job yet. And then he quoted Whitney Young. He said, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. You got to be hungry. So I started working to develop myself and developing my communication skills. I expected to have a radio program, so I created my formats. I started learning how to write commercials and do jingles. And then I came to him one day. I said, okay, Mr. Washington. He said, okay, Mr. Brown, remember, you've got to be hungry. You don't have a college degree. You have no journalism. You have no broadcasting. This is a very crowded field. It's very, very competitive, Mr. Brown. You're going to face no and rejection every day. But if you're hungry enough, the world will make a place for you. So I went to apply for a job on Miami Beach to Milton Butterball Smith, the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. You have any journalism in your background? No, sir. You have any kind of broadcasting experience? No, sir, but I've been training myself, sir. Let me audition for you. Let me show you how good I am. He said, I'm sorry, we don't have any job for you. I was discouraged. I went back and I told Mr. Washington. I said, Mr. Washington, they said no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you gotta be hungry. Go back again. I said, yes, sir. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. Weren't you here yesterday? Yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. No one was laid off. No one was fired. I came back the next day. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I like to be a disc jockey. I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 3 days? Yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 3 days? Yes, sir. Then why are you back today? Well, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. No one got sick, no one died, no one was laid off or fired. Now, don't you come back here again. I came back the next day talking loud, looking happy, like I was seeing him for the first time. Hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? He looked at me with rage. He says, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. Sometimes you have to stoop before you conquer. You got to sacrifice before you reign. So I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I'll go get their lunch and their dinner, and I'd stand in the control room, and I would not leave until they would ask me to. Then pretty soon, they trusted me to pick up entertainers that came to town. Entertainers like Dinah Ross, and the Freeds, and the Four Tops, and Gladys Knight. I used to drive them all over Miami Beach in the disc jockeys' big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving like I had some. Then one day, I was at the radio station, and a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. He was slurring his words. It was obvious he was so inebriated he couldn't complete his show. And there I was looking at him through the control room window, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, rock, drink. Drink, rock. I'd have gone to get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was the general manager, and I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must think I'm crazy. I called my mama and my girlfriend Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn up the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes and I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, do you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records and don't say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get behind that turntable. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is me, LB, Triple P, Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single, love Domingo, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. I was hungry. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, you gotta be hungry. There are people who come to this country who can't speak the language and they hit the ground running because they're hungry. The people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. The people that are hungry are willing to make it okay to fail. They're risk takers. The people that are hungry are willing to reinvent themselves, to develop themselves. They know you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. The people that are hungry have goals and practical steps that they engage in day and day out.
And I want to begin to talk about this amazing book with a quote, direct quote from your book. You said, Dr. Miles Monroe, the great preacher and orator, said, the wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East, where there is oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa, where there are diamond mines. The wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery, for there you will find leaders who have never stepped up, innovators or innovations the world has never been exposed to, talents and potential never realized. I am reminded of another man who said, oh God, to reach the point of death only to realize you have never lived, only to realize that you never scraped the surface of your potential. I remember reading about a woman who had just left the doctor's office after having been told she had terminal cancer. She made herself a cup of coffee when she returned home, and as she sipped it, she suddenly filled with anger, with rage, and hurled the cup against the wall. It shattered it in many pieces, and as she threw it, she screamed out, "I refuse to die and unlive life." And then ending that section, you said this: the only way that you can break through the atmosphere and reach higher altitudes is by being hungry. Hunger is the most crucial element of creating your greatest life. I love this book because I thought that was a great way of capturing our attention. Why this subject of hunger and using that as an analogy or a metaphor? Why did you choose to use hunger as a metaphor for desire?
If you are casual about your dream, you will end up a casualty with your dreams. That most people unconsciously die long before they're buried because they don't realize that they have been marginalized, that they live in a culture where they're told more about what they cannot do rather than what they can do. We've been programmed to think in terms of being one-dimensional, of being an employee, of going to college, graduating, getting a job, working for 40 years, expecting to retire on 40%, which wasn't enough in the first place. The 40-40 plan is gone. It's been interrupted. And so, but most people are not aware of that. The great anthropologist, Margaret Mead, was in London, and she was having dinner. So one of the waiters said, there's several Americans here tonight. And so she said to her guests, let me show you something. She said, let me know when you serve them dessert, and I'll tell you exactly how many are here. He said, you couldn't possibly. She said, just let me know when you serve them dessert. And so when he left, he came back, he said, okay, I've served them dessert. She got up and she walked around and she said, there are 35 Americans in this restaurant. He looked at the roster, he was shocked. He said, how did you know that? She said, in the UK, when you eat a slice of pie or cake, you eat it from the crust toward the tip. In America, when we eat a slice of pie or cake, we eat it from the tip toward the crust. How do you eat a slice of pie?
I eat a slice of pie from the crust to the tip.
Yeah, now, so you're an exception because you came up in a British culture. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, but the average American will eat a slice of pie from the tip toward the crust. Mm-hmm. Well, no one told us to do that. We just picked it up. Mm-hmm. For instance, before 1980, you walk around, you would not see people with tattoos. The majority of people that you see today have tattoos. Where'd that come from? How could that happen? What created that? There was no advertising on television saying, go out and get a tattoo. Well, in America, we incarcerate more people than any place else in the world. And in prison, you're not allowed to draw on the walls. You're not allowed to use your artistic skills on the walls of the prison. There's a penalty. You'll be penalized. You'll be put in the hole in solitary confinement. So they're bored. They have nothing else to do. And so they write on each other's bodies. They write tattoos. So now, when you see people today, all on television and commercials, you see tattoos everywhere. Nobody told them to go out and get it, but being in the culture, there's some things that you pick up. And so picking up a limited vision of yourself is natural when you're in a culture that does not recognize your greatness, that does not recognize your humanity, and create a culture that is designed to destroy your sense of self. And so in order to break out of that, to realize that you are made in the likeness and image of God, to realize that you've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, that it takes everything in you. People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry will find a way to win. People that are hungry will not take no for an answer. People that are hungry won't give up. They will persist until they succeed. That's what's required to make it today.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Вы, должно быть, замечали, что некоторые женщины словно не подвластны времени. Они несут в себе особенное сияние, которое превосходит их фактический возраст. Мы говорим о явлении, которое глубже простой генетики. Это более мощная сила, действующая в невидимых измерениях, за пределами обычного старения. Речь идет не об уходе за кожей или эстетических процедурах. Мы сталкиваемся с феноменом, который Карл Юнг мгновенно бы распознал. Состояние души определяет выражение физического тела. То, что вы сейчас узнаете, бросает вызов многим вашим представлениям о связи между внутренней жизненной силой и внешним обликом. Секрет не в том, что эти женщины делают, а в том, что они хранят в своем энергетическом поле. Это редкая духовная настройка, которая служит защитным барьером от разрушительной силы времени. По завершении этого исследования вы поймете, почему одни души излучают свет, в то время как другие угасают, а также как это древнее знание может изменить ваше собственное отношение к старению. Тайна начинается не перед зеркалом, а с света, исходящего изнутри. Когда Юнг говорил о влиянии психики на внешний вид, он знал, что сознание формирует реальность способами, о которых мы почти забыли в нашу эпоху. Некоторые женщины обладают внутренней вибрацией, которая функционирует вне привычных законов старения. Представьте себе женщину, которая идет по переполненному помещению. Она привлекает внимание не усилиями или уловками, а невыразимым присутствием, которое, кажется, искривляет сам свет вокруг нее. Ее лицо рассказывает истории, но при этом остается свежим. Ее глаза обнаруживают древнюю мудрость и одновременно сияют детским любопытством. Это архетип сияющей женственности. Женщина, чья душа поддерживает ее молодость. Юнг объяснил этот феномен через процесс индивидуации, слияния сознательного и бессознательного, ведущее к психической целостности. Женщины, идущие по этому пути, часто замечают, что их внешний вид преображается параллельно с их внутренним развитием. Они воплощают то, что Юнг называл вечным аспектом женственного, вневременную суть, которая превосходит биологическое старение. В них живет то, что Юнг именовал анима мунди, душа мира, незримо связывающая все живое. Они научились сонастраиваться с этим космическим ритмом. Их личная история входит в гармонию с чем-то более великим, вневременным. Это подтверждает то, что мистики знали всегда. Сознание формирует время, а время формирует тело, несущее это сознание. Эти женщины обладают общей способностью. Они преобразуют страдания в мудрость, не озлобляясь. В то время как других тяготит груз разочарований, они преобразуют боль в свет. Подумайте о женщине, пережившей множество потерь, но сохраняющей необъяснимую мягкость в чертах лица. Она не избегала жизни, но практиковала то, что Юнг называл активным воображением, способность творчески и целительно работать с бессознательными содержаниями. Таким образом, она предотвращает укоренение внутренних токсинов, которые обычно вызвали бы преждевременное старение в ее системе. Древние греки разграничивали хронос и кайрос. Хронос — это линейное, Механическое время, которому подчиняется большинство. Кайрос же, напротив, это священное время. Вечный момент, где возможны рост и трансформация. Женщины, выглядящие загадочно молодыми, преимущественно обитают в Кайросе. Хронос касается их лишь по необходимости, но никогда не определяет их суть. Начало этого пути лежит в том, что Юнг называл встречей с тенью, теми частями нас, которые мы предпочли бы скрывать. Множество людей тратят колоссальную энергию, пытаясь подавить эти темные аспекты. В конечном итоге это проявляется в лице, осанке и излучаемой ими энергии. Сияющая женщина примирилась со своей тенью. Она интегрировала ее, а не боролась с ней. Из этой интеграции возникает то, что древние алхимики называли философским камнем. Состояние внутренней полноты, которое распространяется наружу. Когда внутренние конфликты перестают постоянно истощать жизненную силу, эта сила освобождается для регенерации и обновления. Лицо расслабляется, обретая свою естественную красоту. Глаза становятся ясными, свободными от тумана внутренних сражений. Осанка выпрямляется с подлинной, непринужденной уверенностью. Но здесь происходит нечто более глубокое, непосредственно связанное с природой самого времени. Юнг понимал, что психика функционирует в соответствии со своими собственными законами времени. Он называл это синхронностью, значимыми совпадениями, указывающими на реальность за пределами линейной причинности. Женщины, воплощающие это редкое духовное качество, кажется, живут частично вне нормального времени. Они развили то, что Юнг называл наблюдающим «я». Часть сознания, способная дистанцироваться от повседневной драмы, оставаясь при этом полностью вовлеченной. Эта внутренняя позиция позволяет им наблюдать собственный процесс старения, не отождествляясь с ним. Возникает парадоксальный щит. Именно потому, что они сознательно воспринимают старение, оно замедляется. Они стареют как участники, а не как жертвы. С этим связано то, что Юнг называл трансцендентной функцией. Мост между сознательным и бессознательным, который делает возможной истинную трансформацию. Это психологическое достижение создает вокруг них своего рода временной пузырь, где обычные законы старения действуют иначе. Да, они стареют, но в ритме развития своей души, а не согласно неумолимому тиканью часов. Вероятно, вы уже встречали женщин с вневременным присутствием, которое заставляет вас усомниться в их реальном возрасте. Они двигаются с достоинством, свидетельствующим о внутренней работе. Их душевные раны были преобразованы в силу, а не в истощение. Их смех исходит из глубины. Их молчание несет мир. Их присутствие пробуждает восхищение скрытыми тайнами. Наука теперь начинает постигать то, что Юнг интуитивно понял десятилетия назад. Исследования в эпигенетике показывают, что эмоции напрямую влияют на то, как выражаются гены. Хронический стресс ускоряет клеточное старение. Состояние внутреннего мира и радости способствует регенерации. Даже теломеры, защитные колпачки наших хромосом, биологические маркеры старения чувствительно реагируют на наше психологическое состояние. То, что Юнг называл коллективным бессознательным, дает этим женщинам доступ к неиссякаемому источнику обновления. Они обращаются к архетипическим энергиям, которые поддерживали женское начало на протяжении тысячелетий. Эта связь создает нечто вроде биологической благодати. Клеточная регенерация происходит быстрее, тело остается молодым. Женщины, которые поддерживают жизненную связь с самость, архетипом целостности и смысла, демонстрируют измеримое различие. Их кортизол остается сбалансированным. Воспалительные маркеры стабильны, механизмы клеточного восстановления функционируют оптимально. Мир души сохраняет молодость тела. Это не фантазия, а признание глубокой связи между сознанием и телесностью, которую Юнг исследовал всю свою жизнь. Он признавал, что психика и тело не отдельные области, а две грани целого, и что изменение в одном всегда отражается на другом. Юнг также говорил о религиозной функции психики. Под этим он понимал не институциональную религию, а чувство священного, которое может пронизывать повседневность. Женщины, культивирующие это чувство, относятся к своему телу как к храму сознания. Это благоговение защищает их даже на уровне, который сегодня мы бы назвали квантовым. Сияющая женщина также освоила то, что Юнг называл искусством позволить умереть. Отпускать то, что больше не служит, не цепляясь за изношенные паттерны. Она знает, что каждая фаза жизни требует внутренней смерти и перерождения, и она проходит эти переходы с достоинством, а не с сопротивлением. В то время как другие обременены эмоциональным грузом, она практикует осознанную непривязанность. Она сохраняет только то, что способствует росту ее души. Все остальное отбрасывается, прежде чем запечатлеется в линиях и тенях на ее лице. Эта непривязанность также касается ожиданий других и социальных ролей. Юнг называл это персоной, маской, которую мы носим в повседневной жизни. Тот, кто слишком отождествляется с ней, остается в ловушке жестких паттернов. Сияющая женщина носит свои маски легко, как одежду, которая приспосабливается к временам года. В ее психике действует то, что Юнг называл автономным комплексом вечного женского. Внутренняя структура, которая работает независимо от сознательной воли, но всегда служит высшему развитию. Этот внутренний принцип защищает ее от окостенения, когда женщины утрачивают свою циклическую, регенеративную природу и выравниваются только с линейным временем. Через трансцендентную функцию она нашла третий путь. За пределами противоположностей между молодостью и старостью, красотой и упадком, смыслом и пустотой. В ее присутствии ощущается, что эта женщина – друг времени. Она не воюет с ним, а танцует, вместо того, чтобы бороться. Так возникает поле, которое заставляет других чувствовать, как бремя времени временно становится легче. Юнг распознал бы в ней архетип мудрой женщины, не фигуру древней ведьмы, а живое воплощение вневременной мудрости. Эти женщины углубили свой доступ к коллективному бессознательному, к вечному женскому, которое всегда обновляется. Бессознательное постоянно уравновешивает их через сны, инсайты и интуиции. Таким образом, они остаются в гармонии со своим истинным путем развития и избегают старения. Редкое духовное качество этих женщин – это в конечном счете гармоничная интеграция многих идей Юнга. Они достигли того, что Юнг называл единством противоположностей. Равновесия между мужскими и женскими энергиями внутри себя, интеграции света и тени, принятия силы и уязвимости. Этот внутренний брак действует как психологическая алхимия, которая преображает все, к чему прикасается. Их лица становятся живыми мандалами, символами внутренней целостности, которые Юнг понимал как естественное выражение самости. Симметрия их черт свидетельствует не о генетической удаче, а о равновесии, достигнутом через осознанную внутреннюю работу. Свет в их глазах отражает интеграцию всех частей личности в гармоничное целое. Это качество наиболее ясно проявляется в их отношении к страданию. Там, где у других развиваются постоянные морщины горечи от боли, эти женщины культивировали то, что Юнг называл религиозной установкой перед психическим материалом. Они знают, что каждая рана несет семя исцеления. Каждый кризис содержит потенциал для большего осознания. Сияющая женщина достигла того, что Юнг называл дифференцированным чувством. Способности различать между эмоциями, которые служат росту, и теми, которые лишь увековечивают старые паттерны страдания. Она может чувствовать глубоко, не теряясь. Она может полностью переживать горе, не тонув. Она может чувствовать истинную ярость, не перегружая свою систему ядом. Эта эмоциональная зрелость защищает ее от воспалительной реакции в теле, которую исследования напрямую связывают с ускоренным старением. Это не означает, что она избегает страдания или притворяется, что его не существует. Напротив, она развила способность удерживать напряжение противоположностей, как говорил Юнг. Оставаться присутствующей с трудными переживаниями, не убегая немедленно и не ища быстрых решений. Таким образом, она предотвращает внутреннюю фрагментацию, которая ускоряет процесс старения. Ее нервная система остается регулируемой даже под давлением и поддерживает то, что исследователи сегодня называют сердечной когерентностью. Состояние, где дыхание, сердечный ритм и эмоции находятся в гармонии. Эта когерентность имеет глубокие эффекты на гормоны, иммунную систему и клеточное обновление. Мир души становится лекарством тела, но, возможно, самое замечательное в этих женщинах – их отношение к будущему. В то время как другие цепляются за молодость или боятся времени, они развили то, что Юнг называл проспективным мышлением. Способность распознавать потенциал роста в каждом моменте. Они живут в становлении, а не в ностальгии. Это сознание создает поле возможностей. Они привлекают переживания и отношения, которые способствуют их развитию, как если бы их ясное намерение расти проявляло подходящие обстоятельства в жизни. Юнг назвал бы это синхронностью в действии. Их лица отражают эту открытость к будущему. Вместо жестких черт, говорящих о покорности, они несут плавные черты. Лица, допускающие бесконечную выразительность. Глаза, полные любопытства о том, что жизнь еще откроет. Идея Юнга о единстве мира, единстве всей реальности отражается в их существе. Они достигли того, что алхимики называли союзом между микрокосмом и макрокосмом. Личную трансформацию, настолько полностью выровненную с космическими принципами, что их собственный процесс старения течет в гармонии с вечными циклами природы. Духовное качество, которое они воплощают, касается не только отношения к самим себе, но и к невидимым силам, которые Юнг называл архетипами. Они научились сознательно работать с этими универсальными паттернами человеческого опыта. Отсюда они черпают силу и обновление. В их присутствии чувствуется эта архетипическая связь. Они кажутся несущими больше, чем могла бы объяснить их индивидуальная жизнь, как если бы они имели доступ к мудрости всех женщин, которые шли похожими путями до них. Это коллективное женское начало придает вневременный авторитет, который не имеет ничего общего с возрастом. Их смех несет отголоски вечного женского, которое Юнг признавал одной из фундаментальных организующих структур психики. Когда они говорят, слышится не только их голос, но что-то большее, говорящее через них. Выражение божественного женского, которое использует их личность как проводник. Эта проницаемость требует того, что Юнг называл проницаемым эго, достаточно сильного, чтобы поддерживать идентичность, и одновременно открытого для трансперсонального. Равновесие, которое требует лет внутренней работы. Однажды, достигнув этого, эти женщины излучают ясность, которая превосходит личные границы. Так возникает то, что Юнг называл конъюнктио. Мистический брак между сознательным и бессознательным, мужским и женским, временным и вечным. Из этого внутреннего союза рождается то, что алхимики называли «сыном мудрецов». Обновленная самость, которая несет как мудрость опыта, так и свежесть новых начал. Лицо становится живым свидетельством этой внутренней гармонии. Женщины, которые несут это редкое духовное качество, научились тому, что Юнг называл символической жизнью. Существованию, где каждый опыт означает больше, чем очевидное. Именно эта установка защищает их от экзистенциальной пустоты, которая старит так многих людей, поскольку отсутствие смысла потребляет их жизненную силу. Для них каждый день, каждое действие становится маленьким ритуалом обновления. Их отношения служат зеркалами для дальнейшего роста. Вызовы превращаются в возможности для более глубокого понимания. Это алхимическое отношение к переживаниям означает, что ничего не теряется. Каждый момент способствует их развитию. Этот смысл напрямую отражается в жизненности их физического присутствия. Юнг признавал, что психика обладает естественной целительной функцией, присущей тенденции к целостности, которая работает независимо от сознательной воли. У женщин, которые несут это редкое духовное качество, эта функция сознательно активирована и питается. Процесс непрерывного клеточного обновления возникает, действуя изнутри наружу. Таким образом, преобразуется не только их внешность, но и способ, которым они населяют свое тело. Завершая это исследование, становится очевидным: источник молодости – не мифическое отдаленное место. Это психологическое состояние, доступное любому человеку, готовому пройти внутренний путь интеграции и индивидуации, который Юнг описал так точно. Женщины, которые воплощают это редкое духовное качество, не открыли секретный рецепт или волшебную формулу. Они научились жить в гармонии с глубочайшими течениями своей психики, сознательно работать с архетипическими силами, которые формируют человеческое существование, и поддерживать живую связь с трансцендентным измерением бытия. Их кажущаяся молодость на самом деле является выражением духовной зрелости. Их целостность проявляется в физическом облике, который сияет изнутри. Они достигли того, что алхимики называли «opus contra naturam» — работы против природы, которая парадоксально раскрывает истинную природу. В их присутствии ощущается то, чем люди могут стать, когда учатся сознательно обращаться с силами, которые исследовал Юнг. Они представляют не только личные достижения, но и коллективные возможности того, что развитие сознания действительно может отражаться в теле. Это редкое духовное качество по своей сути доступно всем. Требуется лишь мужество отправиться во внутреннее путешествие, которое Юнг называл индивидуацией. Готовность встретить собственную тень и интегрировать собственный свет. Решение жить сознательно, а не автоматически. Душа, которая следует этим путем, открывает свою вневременную сущность. И это открытие преображает все, включая то, как мы стареем. Если вы узнали себя в этом исследовании или чувствуете вдохновение начать свой собственный путь сознательного старения, приглашаю вас поделиться в комментариях тем, что глубоко затронуло вас и какие аспекты этого редкого духовного качества вы хотите развить в своей жизни. Ваши мысли обогащают наше общее понимание того, как сознание формирует реальность и как состояние души влияет на выражение тела. Вместе мы переоткрываем то, что принес Юнг.
You get Zoish, how you doing? Let's go and rock. Tony Robbins! Let's start with a truth most people don't want to hear. Your life right now is a reflection of what you've tolerated. The body you have, the relationships you're in, the money in your account, the joy or the pain you feel every day. It's all the result of what you've settled for. That's the truth. And if you're honest, you've been tolerating too much. You've been tolerating stress. You've been tolerating excuses. You've been tolerating distraction. And every day you keep tolerating it, you're trading away the life you could have lived. You don't have time to waste. None of us do. Your future is not waiting politely in the corner while you figure it out. It's slipping moment by moment. And the cost of staying the same is brutal. It's years you can't get back. It's dreams that never see daylight. It's regret that will choke you when you realize you could have been more, but you chose less. So I'm not here to give you motivation. I'm here to give you an intervention. Because if you keep living the way you've been living, you will keep getting what you've been getting. And if that shakes you, good. That's the point. And it starts here. Where focus goes, life flows. Where focus goes, life flows. Sit with that. Don't just nod your head. Let it hit you. Your entire life, every result, every relationship, every level of joy or pain, it all traces back to this one truth. Where your focus goes, life flows. Right now, in this moment, your focus is creating your reality. You think it's circumstances? No. You think it's luck? No. You think it's the economy or your parents or the government? Wrong. It's your focus. Because you can have two people standing side by side in the exact same environment, and one is drowning while the other is soaring. One is stuck in stress and fear, while the other is exploding with passion and possibility. What's the difference? Same world. Same conditions, same challenges, different focus. Your brain is like a camera lens. Pointed at garbage, you'll magnify garbage. Pointed at beauty, you'll magnify beauty. And here's the kicker. You're always magnifying something. Always. You don't get to shut the camera off. You don't get to say, I'll focus later. No. Every second you are focusing consciously or unconsciously on something. And that something is shaping the way you feel, the way you act, and ultimately the way you live. Let me hit you with this. If you're focused on what's missing, you'll always feel empty. If you're focused on what's wrong, you'll always feel broken. But if you focus on what's working, if you focus on what's possible, if you focus on what you can control, your life expands, your energy expands, your sense of certainty grows. Suddenly things that felt impossible start to feel inevitable. Because where focus goes, life flows. Most of you are not living your dreams, not because you don't have the ability, but because you've been hypnotized by distraction. You've allowed your mind to obsess over what doesn't matter. Your focus is splintered into 1,000 pieces. You're scrolling, swiping, consuming everyone else's life instead of creating your own. You're staring at the scoreboard, wondering why you're not winning, but you're not in the game. Listen, you don't get significance from watching, you get it from doing. And the doing only happens when you focus. Imagine trying to drive a car but staring in the rearview mirror the entire time. Crash! That's how most people live. They're driving their future with their eyes glued to the past. Or worse, they're looking sideways, comparing themselves to the car in the next lane, and then they wonder why they keep slamming into walls. The only way forward is to focus forward. Lock in on the road ahead. Point your energy where you want to go. Because whatever you focus on expands. And let's be real, if you're honest, some of you have been focusing on survival for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to focus on thriving. You've trained your nervous system to expect the worst, to anticipate pain, to scan for problems. You are literally programming your mind to produce stress on autopilot. And then you wonder why you feel exhausted, why you feel like you're drowning. It's not your life that's overwhelming, it's your focus that's overwhelming you. Shift it and the whole game changes. Stop bleeding energy into things you can't control. Hear me. You are hemorrhaging your life force by obsessing over things that have zero return on your investment. Worrying about what someone thinks of you, that's none of your business. Complaining about the government, unless you're running for office, it's wasted breath. Obsessing over traffic, weather, gossip, useless. You're giving away the most precious currency you have, your energy, to things you will never influence. That's like pouring your water into a desert and wondering why you're still thirsty. Your life is an energy economy. You've got deposits and withdrawals. Every day you're making trades. But most of you are trading your energy for garbage. You're investing in resentment, outrage, jealousy, distraction. And then at the end of the day, you wonder why you have no power left to create, to grow, to love. You've spent it all on things you can't control. You're bankrupt by choice. That's the hard truth. You're bankrupt because you keep wiring your brain to spend its currency on nothingness. Stop. Stop giving your soul away to nonsense. Imagine you're carrying a backpack full of gold bricks, and everywhere you go, people are asking for a piece. And instead of guarding it, instead of using it wisely, you just hand it out to the troll in the comments section, to the coworker who gossips, to the stranger who cuts you off in traffic. Every time you react, every time you obsess, you hand out another brick. And by the end of the week, you've given all your gold away to people who don't matter, and you're left with nothing. Isn't that tragic? But that's what you're doing with your energy. Every time you focus on what you can't control, you are bankrupting your own future. Here's the breakthrough. Energy flows to what you control. And when you lock in there, you become unstoppable. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can't control the waves, but you can steer the ship. You can't control the storm, but you can build the damn ark. When you focus on what you can control, your state, your decisions, your actions, you start compounding power instead of leaking it. You become a generator, not a consumer. You become a creator, not a victim. So let me intervene right now. If you're tired of being stuck, then you must take radical control of your focus and your energy. Draw a line, no more bleeding out, no more trading power for pity, no more giving away your gold. Decide that your focus is sacred. Decide that your energy is precious, because it is. And when you protect it, when you direct it, your entire life begins to elevate. Your relationships shift, your finances shift, your health shifts, not because the world changes, but because you finally stopped scattering your power and you started channeling it. Focus is the ultimate leverage. Energy is the ultimate resource. Master these two and nothing can stop you. Lose them and nothing can save you. So the question is, where will you aim the lens? Where will you pour the gold? Where will you choose to send the most powerful force you have? Because your future depends on that answer. Comparison kills. Your race is yours alone. Hear me. Comparison is the silent assassin of your dreams. It doesn't come crashing in with alarms. It sneaks in quietly, disguises itself as inspiration, and before you know it, it has poisoned your identity. You scroll, you watch, you measure yourself against someone else's chapter 20 while you're still on chapter 2, and you wonder why you feel behind, unworthy, small. Comparison doesn't push you forward, it paralyzes you. It whispers that you're not enough, it steals your joy, it blinds you to your own progress. Stop running someone else's race. Their pace is not your pace. Their path is not your path. Their calling is not your calling. You weren't put on this planet to be a carbon copy of someone else. You weren't born to replicate. You were born to create. And the moment you trade your authenticity for imitation, you forfeit the very power that makes you unstoppable. Think about it. No one has your fingerprints. No one has your wiring, your voice, your story. That uniqueness is your competitive edge, but you throw it away every time you measure yourself against someone else's standard. It's like a lion envying the wings of an eagle. Madness. The lion was born to rule the land, the eagle to command the sky. Each in its lane, unstoppable. But the moment the lion compares itself to the eagle, it forgets it's the king. Comparison kills because it shifts your focus from progress to perfection. It traps you in the illusion that you're behind, when in truth, the only race you're in is with the person you were yesterday. That's it. No scoreboard, no finish line, no external judge. The only measure that matters: did you grow? Did you move forward? Did you get closer to your vision? If yes, you're winning. If no, stop blaming, stop comparing, and take action. Here's the truth. There is no behind. Behind compared to who? Behind compared to what? You are exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to learn to become who you're meant to become. Your setbacks, they're part of your training ground. Your delays, they're preparation, not punishment. But if you keep comparing, you'll miss the lesson and you'll waste the preparation. So today, you must kill comparison before it kills you. Identity shift. You are not a spectator. You are not a copy. You are not someone else's shadow. You are the main event of your own life. Step into your lane, own your race, and run it with fire. The world doesn't need another version of them. The world needs the full, unfiltered, unapologetic version of you. And that's the pivot to the next truth. Your state creates your destiny. Shift it now. You can have all the strategy in the world, you can read every book, take every course, but if your state is weak, your destiny will be weak. State is everything. State is the fuel behind every decision, the power behind every action, the energy behind every word. And most people are trying to build an extraordinary life from a lousy state. Depressed, anxious, exhausted, scattered. That's like trying to win a race with no gas in the tank. It doesn't matter how good the car is. Without state, you're stuck. Look, your destiny isn't written by your conditions. It's written by your decisions. But your decisions are written by your state. In a peak state, you choose bold. In a peak state, you take action. In a peak state, you believe again. But in a lousy state, you settle. You shrink. You say things like, maybe later, it's too hard, I'm not ready. You let fear drive. And every time you do, your destiny drifts further away. State is the switch. Right now, you can flip it. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You don't need to wait. You just need to move. Physiology first. Shift your body, shift your breath, shift your movement. Because emotion is created by motion. Slumped shoulders, shallow breath, blank face. Your brain reads that as depression. Stand tall, breathe deep, move with intensity. Your brain reads that as power. Don't believe me? Try it. Get up, shake it out, jump, clap, roar. You can shift your state in seconds if you stop waiting to feel like it and start generating it. But here's the trap. Most of you are waiting for life to change your state instead of mastering your state to change your life. You're waiting for the perfect relationship to feel loved, the perfect paycheck to feel secure, the perfect opportunity to feel excited. That's backwards. You must feel it first. You must generate it first. Because when you shift your state, you attract the opportunities. You create the relationships. You generate the energy to produce the results. Urgency. This matters now because time is not guaranteed. You don't have forever. Some of you act like you've got endless tomorrows, but let me remind you, you don't. Life is fragile. The clock is ticking. And if you keep living in a lousy state, if you keep comparing yourself, if you keep postponing your power, you are literally wasting the only resource you can never get back. Time. You want to change your destiny? Stop waiting. Shift your state now. Stand up with certainty. Move like a leader. Speak with power. Train your nervous system every single day to default to strength, not weakness. Make it your identity. I am the master of my state. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, always. Because if you don't command your state, your environment will. And the environment rarely has your dreams in mind. So here's the breakthrough. No more comparison. Kill it. Own your lane. And no more waiting for the world to give you a good state. Generate it. Command it. Live it. Because the combination of these two truths, owning your race and mastering your state, will rewrite your destiny. Run your race in your state with your fire. That's when you become unstoppable. That's when you stop living as a victim of circumstances and start living as the architect of your life. That's when your destiny stops being random and starts being intentional. So I'll ask you, are you done comparing? Are you done leaking your power into states that shrink you? Are you ready, truly ready, to shift, to rise, to own your race and live in a peak state every damn day? Because the clock is ticking. Your life is now. And nothing changes until you decide. So decide, shift, run, live. You can't pour into others from an empty cup. Stop pretending you're strong while you're running on fumes. Stop sacrificing your soul to keep everyone else comfortable. You can't light up the world if your fire is burned out. You've been giving and giving, but listen, true giving comes from overflow, not depletion. When your cup is empty, your love becomes resentment, your service becomes obligation, your presence becomes a shadow. Fill your cup first. Protect your energy like oxygen. Train, fuel, rest, grow. Because when you rise, everyone around you rises. The greatest gift you can give the world is the fullest, fiercest, most unstoppable version of you. So decide right now, no more empty giving, no more martyrdom. Rebuild, refuel, rise, fill your cup until it overflows, and then pour out power that never runs dry. Cut the noise or stay a prisoner to distraction. Noise is the enemy. Distraction is the chains around your potential. Every scroll, every meaningless conversation, every toxic voice, you think it's harmless, but it's draining your future. One click, one complaint, one wasted breath at a time. Your focus is your freedom, and every distraction is theft. If you don't cut the noise will cut your life short of its power. Decide now. Protect your mind like a fortress. Delete the apps. Leave the gossip. Walk away from energy leeches. Say no to everything that doesn't align with your vision. Because you cannot live an extraordinary life while you're drowning in the ordinary noise of the world. Cut it or be caged by it. Silence the chaos. Claim your clarity. And watch how fast your life accelerates when every ounce of focus belongs to your mission. Decide or drift. There is no middle ground. There's only two paths to the center. There is no middle ground. Indecision is death by hesitation. Every time you stall, every time you say someday, you are handing your future away. There is no neutral. If you're not deciding, you're drifting, and drifting costs years. You think waiting keeps you safe, but it kills you slowly. The opportunities pass, the momentum fades, the fire dies. You must decide, because decision is power. Decision is clarity. Decision is the cut that severs you from excuses and binds you to action. Stop playing safe. Stop circling the runway. Land the plane. Choose your path, burn the boats, and commit with everything you've got. The life you want will not wait for your hesitation. Decide now or watch your potential rot. Your power is scattered. Gather it and ignite. You've been leaking power like a broken dam, obsessing over the past, worrying about the future, splitting your energy across 1,000 meaningless things. No wonder you feel weak. You're scattered. Power is not lost, it's diluted. And the breakthrough comes when you gather it, concentrate it, and unleash it like a laser. Stop giving fragments of yourself away. Call your energy back. Reclaim your attention, your time, your fire. When you gather your focus into one mission, one vision, one obsession, you become unstoppable. Scattered power is weakness. Focused power is domination. Gather it, ignite it, and watch how quickly your life becomes fire. Vision without obsession is just a wish. A wish is fragile. A vision without obsession is powerless. It fades the moment resistance shows up. That's why most people never get what they want. They dabble, they try, they hope. Hope doesn't build empires, obsession does. Obsession is the fuel that keeps you moving when you're tired, when you're doubted, when you're bleeding. Obsession is the force that turns a dream into destiny. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop watering down your hunger to make others comfortable. Own it, feed it, live it. Because without obsession, your vision dies in the land of excuses. With obsession, nothing can stop you. Decide today, will you keep wishing, or will you become obsessed enough to make it real? One decision can end the old you and unleash the new you. Identity shifts in an instant. Change doesn't take years, it takes a moment. One decision, one line drawn in the sand where you say, never again. Never again will I shrink. Never again will I betray myself. Never again will I settle. In that instant, the old you dies and a new you is born. Don't lie to yourself that you need more time. You need more courage. Courage to decide. Courage to step into the unknown. Courage to let go of who you were so you can unleash who you are. One decision, that's it. Don't wait for someday. Don't wait for permission. Make the decision that kills the old story and ignites the new one. Do it now. Listen to me. Everything you've heard today is not theory. It's not entertainment. It's not nice ideas. This is life and death for your potential. Because the truth is, you've been hiding. You've been dimming your own light, pretending you're less powerful than you are. You've been addicted to comfort while your future demands courage, and that ends now. I refuse to let you leave this moment the same. Not because I care about how you feel in this second, but because I care about who you become for the rest of your life. You can't walk back into mediocrity and expect fulfillment. You can't keep making excuses and expect greatness. You can't keep giving away your power and expect freedom. You've got one shot at this life. One. And your excuses are not welcome anymore. Your fear is not the driver anymore. The only thing that matters from this moment forward is that you rise, that you decide, that you claim the identity you've been running from, the leader, the creator, the force that you already are. So hear me, I'm not asking you to change. I'm demanding it, not for me, for you, for your family, for your legacy, for the part of you that's been suffocating under doubt and distraction. It's time to rip the mask off, to stop hiding, to stop waiting. It's time to live with fire, with focus, with absolute certainty that you are no longer average. You are inevitable. This is your line in the sand. Rise now or stay small forever. The future will not wait, but your decision will decide it.